Hello and welcome to a new series for the channel. Today, if you couldn't guess already, we are playing Transport Fever 2. Big giveaway here and a big giveaway probably in the video title. So I'm going to set up a new game quickly. So the free game. And then I'm going to do a small map. Just because the bigger you go, the later on in the game when you start having lots of trains and giant cities, you can start stretching your computer's ability quite quickly. So for now we're going to keep it simple and have a bit of a fun, bit of almost a tutorial-y thing with this, but not too tutorial-y. So it's going to be a small map, high number of towns, high number of industries, and I'm going to go here, maximum happiness, maximum water, and middle forest. And then I'm going to scroll through here until I find something that I like the look of here. So what I'm looking for is lots of cities sort of dotted in the mountains. Because when it comes down to building train lines and roads, I want to be wiggling through the valleys and stuff, and that might be quite interesting. Talking of that, I think this one could be quite nice. It's got this one in the mountains, this one is in the mountains, so it's not too much hill, and these ones are down by the water. So there's going to be a requirement for bridges and stuff going on, so I'm going to go for this one. So we're going to go next. And then here we can set up what settings that we want. I'm not going to do anything custom, so you can leave it as a vanilla game. We're going to go European vehicles. I'm going to start in 1970. I know in this you can start in 1850, but I find it's a bit slow starting there, and I lose a little bit of interest. Like, I prefer the 1970s. Plus, I like long trains with like the big carriages and trucks and stuff. So I just prefer starting later in the game. Normally anything from like 1950s onwards I enjoy. Normally if I'm doing this just for fun, I'd actually quite often start in like 2000s or something. Anyway, difficulty, we're going to go hard. Might as well have a bit of a challenge. So off we go. Okay, hello and welcome to our map. First thing you need to do is pause the game, which I've already done, just down here. Because unlike a lot of these games, it doesn't start pause. And as we see down here, we have a $30 million loan to start off our company, and we'll start paying interest on that pretty quickly. So to save our money, just pause it to make everything a little bit easier. If we zoom out and have a quick look around, we can see we have our 5 towns: Stapleton, Bromborough, Budleigh Salterton, Rushton and Clevedon. Next to all of these places, we can see they have a whole bunch of symbols. So food, bricks, boxes, cogs, and then there's like 2 other ones, fire and spanners. To do this, we have to link together our raw materials, which are like the crude oil here, stone, coal, logs, grain, etc., to a factory which will make a product. So like over here, the grain will make food, which will then deliver to the town. So this is an easy one to do because it's only a 2-step. What I'll do now is I'll pop up on the screen a list of the industries and what they need. So I'll start off with the easy 2 to do. So this is where, if you're starting off, where I recommend you start. You look for towns which are either doing food or bricks, because they are easy to produce. Because food just takes grain into food, and then that takes to the town. So 2 steps. While bricks need stone to a construction plant, or a brick plant as I call it, into a town. So again, it's another 2 steps. Okay. The next 2, the middle 2 ones, are fuel and spanners. So if you come down here, like Rushton does, so we've got the spanners. To make a spanner, you need the planks. So you need to get logs to a lumber mill to make planks, over to here to make some spanners, and then into the town. So we're looking at a 3-step stage. To make fuel, what we need over here is we need to have some oil, and we need some crude. So we get the crude oil over to the refinery to make oil, comes across here to make the flames, and then into the town, and they're happy. So again, another 3 steps. Now the next 2, the final 2, are the hardest 2 to do. So if you're starting off, this is not where I recommend you begin with your industries. So they are over here, as Bromborough has, boxes and cogs. So to make cogs, we've got the plant over here. So this needs to get logs, which is just down when you need the planks to do that. We just need the logs to the lumber mill to make planks over here. So that's three stages into here. Now we need the steel. So we need iron delivered to here, and then we need coal delivered to here. We need both of them delivered to make steel, and then that's delivered to here to make the cogs, and then that's going to be delivered into town. So that's 6 steps. To make boxes, what you need to do is get the oil, get into the refinery to make, the crude to the refinery to make oil, sorry, and then that oil can go to a plastic factory to make plastic that can be delivered down here, and then it's the same process of iron, coal to make steel, and then so we're looking at 7 steps. So those first 2 is where we want to look off for starting, which will be up here with some of these, because that's food and bricks, nice and easy. Yeah, we don't have to get both of them to expand, so that's where we're going to start up here. What I will do quickly is take note of the populations of all of these towns, because the challenge that I'm setting myself for this map, for this series, is to get all of these towns to a population of 750. Again, I'll just pop up on screen now a list of all the populations currently now, and I'll do the same at the end, like percentage growth. So anyway, let's get into it. So because we are playing in hard mode, things are going to cost a lot more to build, and they cost a lot more to run. And trains, while they look very cool, take a long time to arrive, and they have a high investment cost with other tracks and trains and stuff, so aren't always the best place to start. Trucks, on the other hand, are cheap, can use these roads, and are fairly easy to get set up. So it's probably where you want to start off, unless you are feeling really bold and have a really good network set up for you to use. Planes on the map this side aren't really worth it, and ships, they are a bit tricky to use sometimes because they need everything that's close to water. So there's not many places here that I can see that will be used, so we will just ignore that for now. Starting off, we'll just get this trucks network set up here. So it's a nice easy one here. So we come into buildings, get truck station. As we're loading up the stone here, there's not going to be much else use here, so I'm just going to pop one in over here next to this stone plant. I can get it to link up where it's got some blue. There we go, that will do. So I can come in over there. Up here, I'm going to use one of these because this is a truck unloading stop. Then plonk that in over here. And that is where a truck there can only unload. It can't pick anything up at all. And then up over here, I'm just going to drop in another truck stop. So when we come in here and we look in the town, over these buildings, they're either like bricks or food or nothing at all. If we look at layers, this is sometimes a useful thing to have a look at. Not that one, not that one. It's this one here, so land use layer. So we've got the green buildings here, which are residential. This provides passengers for passenger services. The blue is commercial, and this requires one set of resource, so it requires a bread. And the yellow area is the industry, and this requires bricks. The more of these materials that we deliver to these areas, the more the town will start growing. So I'll just pop this in here because it covers all the bricks that we need. And then the only other thing that we need is another truck stop in over here. Just pop it in here. Try the other side here, that's maybe a bit cheaper. No, this side was cheaper, I think. There we go. That can go in there. Put a truck station in. I can come with the engine and exit over here. And we can now start setting up our first line. So to do that, click on this button down here, the crossed over arrows, click new line, and then we start off where we want, so over at the quarry, deliver it to the truck unloading stop, and then we'll just loop back round as the line shows. Over here, I wanted to load full load of stone. I'm going to now assign some trucks to it. So if we go in here, we can refine our search what we want. We only want cargo at this point, and then we have a list of all the trucks that are available to us. The lower down we go tends to be the faster and bigger ones because they are the newer ones. So I'm going to use this truck here because I know it has the largest capacity for what I need, which is the stone. So I'm going to buy 3 of these, and I'm going to assign it to line 1. There we go, off they go. When we unpause it, they will get going. Now we'll do a line from here, so a new line. We'll do from here into Stapleford, where do this stop over here, into King Street. Now we will again, so that's done. What we're doing here again is set this to full load. But what I'm also going to do in here is set the maximum wait time to, let's say, 90 seconds. So if it hasn't got a full load in the 90 seconds when it started, it'll head off with whatever it has. As this requires a couple of these trucks to be delivering stuff into here and stuff, but it's not always going to get a full load. So this one can't carry bricks if you look in here. Nor can this one because it's a liquid tanker. So we use this one, it can carry all cargo. You can get 2 of these. I'm going to apply it onto the line. There we go. Then what we're going to do is zoom in. I'm going to have a look and unpause again. We're going to set it on maximum speed. So off they go. We can just watch them all disappearing. Off they go. Lovely. So they're going to start running the route around here and hopefully making us a bit of money in a bit. Unfortunately, when it starts off, this game is quite slow to make money because it requires this route getting set up and then this route getting set up. So they're all going to start losing us money for a little bit. So while that's happening, I'm going to come over to Budley Salterton and I'm going to start making some food. So this requires grain to make bread and then deliver it into here. So to connect this road up, so we're coming to streets, I'm going to use this country road and just connect this one and just over it comes. Then a little trick that I only just learned, I've been playing this game for ages. Okay, that road's just grown, so that's a bit annoying. But the trick is that I was going to say, if you push N or M when you're trying to build a road, this will raise and lower the centre of that bit of road, which can make it cheaper. So if I push N as you go down, it goes down to 20,000 and it's a little bit cheaper. So that's what I'm going to do. Then again, we just need to put in our depots. And you can pop this one in at the end over here. An unloady stop. I'll pop that over there. Second one of these. Over here. And then we'll do an unload over here. It's a bit spread out, so we're going to just drop it in the middle between these two lumps of our food. We're going to start setting the lines up again. Oh, we just need to put one of these in quickly. Just pop it in next to there. So we'll take new line, grain from there to there, full load any, and we'll put some trucks on that line. So this one, it can carry grain, so we'll use that again. It's only a short line, so I'll just put 2 on. Up to line 3. And then I'll take another new line from here into the centre of Budley Salterton. There we go, onto London Road. And this one I'm going to go full load any. Again, change that down to 90 seconds. And then if you click on this cog, we can tell it what to pick up, or so it can be loading anything. What I want, because what I don't want is this to carry any grain away, so I'm going to say do not load any grain. So I think that's my washing machine. It's just finished. I'll have to get onto that in a moment. So that will go onto there, and that means it won't carry anything but, well, it won't carry any of these, but the only things that are being really provided at this point to it are grain and food, and as it won't pick up grain, it'll just carry away the food. So that's got the 2 trucks on there, and I'll put the trucks, I'm going to buy 2 of these, and that can go onto line number 4. Simple. And then we'll have a look over here to see how these two lines are doing. So if we zoom in here and we click on this truck stop, I can see nothing's waiting and there are 2 trucks in. So this is carrying enough stone for the moment. And these trucks also seem to work. So if we have a look on here, we can see how our money's doing. So yeah, these lines are making us a bit of money, which is good. And of course the new food line is only just set up. So we'll leave that for now. Now the one other thing that I forgot to do when this started is if you click down here on the date, we can see that it's rating 3. So if I click on here, we can change the rate that the date changes. So I'm going to pull that down to 1/4 speed, because otherwise we're going to race through our years, and before we know it, we're going to be in 2050 with hover trains, and everything's going to be everything updates far too quickly. But if we slow it down, it gives us a bit more time to play through the years. Okay, so there we go, that's those 2 set up. Now Stapleford also needs food. We're making food down the bottom over there. So if I come in and have a look over here, I might see if I can just pop this, say here. I'm then going to do an urban road and just connect these two. No. Oh, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to risk it. It's going to cost me a lot of money deleting those houses, which is, I know, not what we want to do, but it'll allow lots of growth and stuff in the area. So we now have a place for us to deliver food. So if we come back over here to Budley Salterton, to our this one, I'm going to configure this one, go into cargo. I can now place another cargo stand or another loading point. So we can then put a new line from this place all the way over to Stapleford. Clicking on there, and again we're going to do full load any, and then on here just anything but the grain. Easy. So we're coming down here, I'm going to see how this line's doing. There's not too much stuff waiting there, so I'm going to just leave it how it is. Next thing I'm going to do is go back in here, use trucks to carry everything, and buy 3 of them because it's the longer route, and apply it to line 5. On they go. So on here, line 5, what I forgot to do was change this down to 90 seconds. There we go. I'm going to put 1 more truck on here. Manage vehicles, and you could clone that one. There we go. So for now, it just needs a bit of time just for it to run through a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, while that's happening, is first things first, if we click on the money down here, I'm going to repay some of our loans because we're not paying so much interest. That can go down to, we have about 10 million left in the bank. There we go. We've repaid 13 million, which is quite nice. If I click back on lines, I'm going to start renaming our lines. So we have over here, this is going to be Stapleford Stone. Stapleford Stone. Then line 2, this one, rename it. That's going to be Stapleford Brick. So we know what line is what. It's always a useful thing to do. Then we've got line 3, rename that. So we've got Budley Salterton Grain. I'll get the spelling correct at some point. Then line 4 was Budley Salterton Food. And then line 5, rename that one, is Stapleford, put the R in that, food, and then brackets I'm going to put Budley Salted in, just so we know where the trucks are coming from. So that's that. Now the next thing that I'm going to do after all that, is to come in here, is I'm going to colour my trucks to be the same colour as the line they're on. So these two, I'm going to colour them the blue. These three are going to go green. These two are going to go yellow. These three pink. And then these three red. There we go. Happy days. So we've got plenty of food now waiting for Stapleford. Suppose not surprising because it's a long old route for them. Yeah, they're probably way over here. So I'm going to just double them up. Just have 6 vehicles on there. On they go. I've probably overdone it a little bit, but that will do for now. And if you click on here, this tells you on one of these things how much production there is, how much has been shipped, and how much we are transporting. So it's all now being shipped out. So these 3 trucks are carrying everything out of here, and this won't provide us with any more. So if we want to increase production here, we will have to link in this second one over here. For this one, you can see here now it's going up through the level, so it's making the maximum amount, which is just leveled up to a level 2. So it can now produce 200 food, but it just needs probably a bit more grain being delivered to it. So I'm just going to link this one over here in. So if I just take the truck stop, let's rotate him round. There we go. And we'll just do a new line from over here to over here, and then this one will just be full load any. Yep, and this will be Budley Salted in grain too. Grain 2. So we'll get some trucks for this line. We'll buy 3 for this line. Change them to orange to match their line, and then Budley Salted in grain 2. Off they go. Okay, so this is all set up quite nicely. I'm going to slow this down a bit. We just watch. We can watch a few of the trucks coming through and stuff. We have quite a lot to start off. This is a good way to start off. Like we've not over invested. We're not losing money at the moment, but we are losing money. But that's only because we're investing lots. A lot of our lines are making us money. So, and the ones that aren't, either the new ones or very short ones, just losing us a little bit. So we are in a good place, and I think that's also a good place for us now to end the episode here. And this is where we'll pick it up at the start of the next episode. So until next time, ciao!